This garden is actually one of my. It's the oldest garden on which I taught myself numerous things. It used to be a support orchard, and they used to grow some corn in between. Some old trees we inherited. So I worked about 10 years personally on this. It's about 2 acres or 2 and 3 acres it used to be. Now it's 2 acres. I taught myself personally by doing everything myself, right from all work. I had one lady assistant called Kamma, and then one gardener called Baswa. Both wonderful people. Anyway, I worked alongside them and taught myself vermicomposting and organic vegetables, how to grow, how to make seeds. Then, since I believed in that Fukuoka approach to farming, gardening, which is too deep for the modern people. Most of the people don't even understand what that man is trying to say, that Masanobu Fukuoka. So anyway, whatever little I could understand, I worked on those principles. And this Fukuoka method, actually he says that gardening and farming, you're not cultivating any crop crops are there as byproducts, but in reality it is, you cultivate your soul. It's cultivation of the soul through gardening. So it's a type of meditation in reality, and it's a very, very deep concept. So little by little only I can explain over a period of time, but I'll take it up now, the philosophy of Fukuoka and all that. Anyway, here I tried all kind of thing, and it worked also. It successfully grew organic vegetables and even sold them and all. Then I gave it up for some reason. So also, when I started this, I had got into Ayurveda. My Ayurvedic doctor had told me that your land and all, why don't you do some Ayurvedic stuff? I'll teach you and guide you. I'll hold your hand and teach you. So I said, why not? Since I like audacious goals, which look impossible, because only they are challenging enough for me to get me excited. So entire important pharmacopoeia of Ayurveda plants are all there in this garden. Some 200 species are there, and all grown naturally, like not this regular organic thing. This Fukuoka natural farming is infinitely, it's on another plane altogether. The nearest equivalent for people who are not into philosophy and conceptualizing and all, for them this permaculture is good enough. They kind of formalize that whole basic approach. So that works. But for people who like to go to the root of things, for those people that's not enough. So for such people only this Fukuoka and all is recommended. So anyway, that some 250 species of Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia plants are there here, and some trees and all, rare ones. Then few years back I got interested in this native plants. They're all vanishing off. People, of course, completely ignorant. And so I thought that's a good thing for my old age, taking up some of the so-called useless plants. So useless plants means whatever people say, if you ask them what is the use of this, what is it? It's useless. So anyway, I've spoken about that in other videos and also Now I have set myself very ambitious goal for this garden. From this 2 acres, I started adding the native flora, uh, which will my goal is to take it up to about 1,000 species at least. 1,500 species of plants if I can cram into this little 2 acres. So entire main ingredients of that pharmacopoeia of Ayurveda, whatever grows in Bangalore. Apart from that, all kind of little plants are there, so-called weeds. So all of them I'll be adding, and then this is my idea of a natural garden that grows herbs, vegetables, just enough for the family, and then some fruits and some flowering plants, ferns, greens, everything I'm going to add now systematically. And periodically when I come to Bangalore, because most of the time now I'm in the looking at these plants in their original locations where they occur naturally without human intervention. So going into these forest areas and all that takes up most of my time, but I don't come much to Bangalore also anymore. But here I'm going to add them now systematically, and I will be doing some videos also as and when I come to Bangalore, and I'm going to start adding species in a while, and whenever I add I'll be talking about it, my experience, and all the species what I grow here. Personally I've grown myself, so I know what I'm talking about. It's not some textbook stuff. So anyway, this was very gratifying. After a long time I came to the terrace and looked at an aerial view of my garden, and it's an overwhelming feeling. What all these plants can do, and so many birds have come and settled here, their nests are there, families are breeding. So with a small piece of land and not that much of resources, Bangalore, dry, deciduous Bangalore, this place doesn't even have plenty of water also. The borewell and all that is horrible water. But some little green island can be made like this. And from here, one important thing that happens in such gardens, highly biodiverse, small little gardens, is these native trees and plants, their seeds will get dispersed by the birds and wind, all such things, and they escape from the garden and go out, and then slowly, one by one, they'll take back the territory they lost to invasive species, disturbances, and all that. So reinvasion of the natives is what will happen here. That's my goal. So that from here a million seeds can go out of this place and once again make Bangalore a beautiful place it was in my childhood. And people who like this kind of thing, they come and approach me nicely, answer my questions. I'll happily share any of my experience, knowledge. Plants also. These are all meant only for to go out of this. All these seeds, these Pterocarpus seeds, for example, some lakhs of seeds are produced every year. In the wind, they get dispersed, and they fly out of my compound and go and sprout here and there wherever fate is earmarked for them, and there's a vacancy, and life will go on.